Shalom, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Friday, July 23rd, 11:52 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. Interesting Friday. Coinbase Commerce adds support for Dogecoin payments. That's really cool. I don't use Coinbase Commerce. I'm not even exactly sure what it is, but it now supports Dogecoin. Pretty cool. That is rather remarkable, especially since, like it says, the meme coin is only the sixth crypto to be integrated with Coinbase's e-commerce platform, whatever that is. All right, top Ripple competitor Stellar reportedly in talks to purchase MoneyGram. XLM soars by an impressive 18%. That's kind of cool. Stellar purchasing MoneyGram. Well, I guess Stellar is definitely making some money then. What are they going to do with MoneyGram? Interesting. Interesting, you know? XLM definitely a crypto that I'll be watching for gains. If the chart supports it, then it's all the more reason I might hop in that one. If you have any ideas what XLM, what Stellar is going to do with MoneyGram, what kind of a relationship that would be, please comment and let me know. And of course, I know what Coinbase is, but if you know what Coinbase Commerce is, let me know too. Anyway, U.S. services PMI plunges unexpectedly to 5-month low as business outlook slumps. So it mentions here about after U.S. services PMI and ISM unexpectedly plunged from record highs in June. That's what this article is kind of about. So they were record highs in June, and then in July they started to dump. And I read through this, and one thing I think the article kind of missed is that I really think it's business reacting to, obviously we're going to have more lockdowns and nonsense. I mean, it's very clear globally that is a deep state agenda, as we know. It kind of was asleep for a little while, and now it's woken up once again, and they want revenge for being ignored for a while. And I think especially that's what this is really about, is that the market and people are reacting to that. So if PMI is down, it's not surprising, especially as they put it, U.S. services PMI. If I understand it correctly, then it would make sense because the services have been kind of pumping because everyone's going outside, they're happy, and now, well, they're beginning to stock up on toilet paper and ammo because they're Americans, and two things we cannot do without. S&P 500, it's a green candle today. Dow is a red candle, and Russell is barely holding on to a green candle today. Not a whole lot of movement in those, one way or the other. Dollar strength index, you can see on the daily chart, it's been moving up for a little while, a good couple days, 2-3 weeks here. Today is interesting because it wicked down to the bottom of this channel, and it's a green candle. It's holding in. Well, it's holding on. Looks like it will probably close in the green. Interesting to see that wick down. Definite volatility. Gold red candle today, and silver red candle today. Looking at volume today, spot volume on Binance down 22%. Last 24 hours coming in at 13,100. That ain't nothing. Very, very low volume. Looking at futures volume, 40 billion, I should say, basically. Let's see, 100,000. Yeah, 40 billion today, coming in at down 21%. Last 24 hours. So really, volume is absolutely dismal. And looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly, just 2.2 billion. That is extraordinarily low. I mean, that's kind of what the network. Like I say, sometimes I think just about short of, well, I would just say like between around like 2.5 billion, between like 2 billion and 3 billion, really are about the spot that I've noticed. It seems like the Bitcoin network just needs to exist. It's going to do that many transactions on a day that nothing happens, like market makers, etc. So really, I would say that unless you're above 3 billion in trading volume over 24 hours, I would say that nothing is happening, basically, that we can see from retail traders. Now, whales, on the other hand, well, they play a different game. Looking at Bitcoin shorts, they have been steadily, well, they had a big decline. They started back on the 15th of July. It kind of ended on the 19th of July, and you can see it's been steadily cruising down. So really, we're not seeing a lot of short pressure building up right now. That's a 4-hour chart. Daily chart, Bitcoin is still below the 314 moving average. Let's look at this RSI here real quick. Sorry, I didn't have this already drawn. If we go here, Let's see. Yeah, I don't think we're quite breaking this downward RSI yet, but we'll keep our eye on that because when that happens, I think we're definitely going to see some action. But Bitcoin below the 314 moving average on the daily. Also up here, the white one is the 200 moving average. And on a good note, the MACD is still positive and the histogram is widening. So that's nice. It's nice to go into the weekend, even though there's not much volume at all. We do have a positive daily MACD, and that's pretty darn rocking. And if Bitcoin begins to challenge this 314 and gets above it, I think we'll see even more upwards velocity. All right, looking at a 45-minute chart, this fib is kind of half-assed, but I do it anyway. And Bitcoin, it did break above the 200 moving average and it stayed there. How long has it actually been there? Let's take a look here. How long have you been there? It's been above the 200 moving average for, yeah, 2 days. 2 days now, and like 2 days and a couple hours. That's pretty grooving. I like seeing that go away thing. Really, once there's two spots that I look for, and that's 12 hours and 24 hours. So now we've been above the 200 moving average for more than 24 hours. That usually the longer you stay above it, the more likely you are to stay above it. So 12 hours is kind of one marker for me. 24 hours is another. So let's say we're starting to gain some velocity to stay there. If you look at the VPVR here on the right side, right about where we're at, right around like 32,000, we are building some volume, and that's good. Volume spikes tend to be like a magnet that pull Bitcoin price action towards them. So right now, we're gaining a nice bit of volume here around the 32,000 range. So that's good, and we've been staying above the 200 moving average for quite a while. That's really good too. This fib line, wouldn't like quite bet a lot of money on it, but I made it, basically when we started moving up around the July 20th to the all-time high to the high we've had recently. It does look like we've wicked down, and the bodies of these candles are kind of hitting the 236 fib line, and we're building volume there. So maybe we will just cruise sideways for a while. It's nice seeing on the 45-minute chart the 200 moving average, the white one, is moving towards the 314. Looks like we might get across the 200 above the 314 next couple days. Maybe even it could happen quicker than that. But that move towards and that cross above of the 200 moving average over the 314, I think would definitely be a slight pump for Bitcoin. Other than that, Bitcoin is sideways, and it seems like if we look at a box here, just let's look at where this volume is. This volume spike, you can kind of see it matches. So now that's where most of our. What I could do here? Let me actually do like this. Let me take just the break above, just when Bitcoin started moving. Yeah, and as you can see, we have a nice, this red line here is the max volume that it sees in this visible range, and that's right around 32,137. So really, and that kind of fits this little box if we look where we're kind of working from. We're ranging right in there. That's at least where the most volume is, and you can kind of make that box to show. So basically, we're ranging sideways. Let's see if we continue doing that. One thing is if we do dump, at least according to this fib line, if we dump really hard, a 618 dump would be probably where we expect to turn around, and that's right around 30,788. And there's a big volume spike there also. So boom, and once again, we do have a big volume spike also around 29,000, right below 30,000. And it would probably get caught here too if it started to dump, which is also a previous support and resistance in the chart before it started moving up. So I'm feeling positive that Bitcoin may have found itself, at least for the time being, a sideways, unless the whales decide to manipulate it further. It's weekend. We're going into the weekend, very low volume here on Friday, so I definitely would hold your cards close to your chest. Be careful if you're trading, because Bitcoin Bitcoin definitely could go either way right now, especially with that low volume. Ethereum USD, it's looking good. It did what Bitcoin did. It dumped when it dumped. It dumped when it dumped, and now it's beginning to move up as Bitcoin does also. Doge was moving up this beautiful upwards channel, slightly half-assed upwards channel. Do forgive me. I know we broke above it, but I didn't really count that because it was kind of a pump. That's when Elon and that group, the B word, were talking. So we got a slight pump there. Now we're moving up. Now we've dropped below, and that just matches what Bitcoin is doing. Shiba Inu versus USDT. I kind of working this upwards channel recently, looking good, but of course it dumped with Bitcoin recently, and now it's recovering. So that's kind of what's going on. a low volume weekend, low energy weekend, cranking up for Bitcoin. A lot of the alts are doing exactly what it's doing, so figure if it's volatile, be careful in your trading. Of course, as always, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's a good weekend to go fishing and stuff like that. I would be careful. I wouldn't try too hard this weekend. With that said, I did an interview with Heather Mays. We called it Normalizing Intuition and Ascension. That's pretty darn far out, huh? I linked to it over at bitcoindailyview.com. She's a nice lady, very, very goofy, very, very amazing, very, very fun. And if you want to just kind of get away from all the negativity which is going on these days and just have fun for an hour and talk about cool things like talking to plants and, you know, and being in all kinds of amazing stuff. This was a fun hour. I think you might like it. Go check it out. It's on bitcoindailyview.com. It's linked there, or just go to radiantcreators.com. Anyway, this was the bitcoindailyview.com. No, what am I saying? This was the Bitcoin Daily View for today, for Friday, July 23rd. If I sound a little bit monotone or low energy, well, was up late saving baby birds and stuff. Basically, we are here in Arizona. We are having insane biblical monsoons right now in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. We didn't get flooded here, but there's flooding in the area, and it's really, really wild. Like thunder that never stops rolling and lightning that just lights the sky and doesn't go away. It's wild, very, very wild. Tons of trees knocked down last night, big ones too. Chimneys blown off houses, AC units blown off houses. It's crazy, crazy. Anyway, it was really fun to go to the supermarket. I wanted to get some some vegetables to roast. It's kind of that kind of a day, and you get this beautiful, beautiful feeling of community when there's kind of a disaster happening. Everybody was just nicer to each other, and there was this sense of camaraderie in the community, and it's a shame that we need kind of like slight disasters to have that, but it doesn't make a difference. I mean, we have it, and it was nice to see. So, be kind to your community, because you might one day need each other when you've never expected it. No one thought this was coming before it started. Anyway, with that said, remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit banker cries. See you tomorrow.